Right. Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Wellness Wednesday. I'm your host, Hannah Khan. I'm also the founder and clinical director at the Bloom Center for Motherhood, which is Texas's very first and only perinatal intensive outpatient program. It's basically a short-term mental health counseling program that's intensive and helps pregnant and postpartum moms feel better faster. And so our program is super holistic, and a big part of our program and just what we do is how can we bring holistic wellness to moms just across the board, in addition to the program that we offer, holistic care. So Wellness Wednesday is a product of that, and we offer this once a month on a Wednesday where we bring in an expert in the community who focuses on perinatal wellness. And this month we have with us Faryn Schwartz. Faryn Schwartz is a Dallas fitness coach. She's a body worker, a wellness guide, and she's had a wealth of experience for the past 3 decades working with pregnant and postpartum moms and blending movement, mindfulness, and real life strategies that really feel doable, right? Not overwhelming, but doable. And that's what I love about the work that she does is because we all know as moms, we've got a lot going on. There's a lot of to-do lists. There's just a baby to take care of. There's your own mental health and physical health to take care of. And so having to carve out too much of a time, commitment can be really, hard to do. And so we know how time is limited for moms, and we want to make sure we give them the most practical tips that they can take away. And so I love that Farron really focuses on that doable piece and not like you should do this or you shouldn't do this, really what works for you. And that's what we're going to get into today. So thank you so much, Farron, for joining me on this. I'm really excited to have you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to see what I can help with empowering moms and any tips that I can just help the moms, any moms, just do what they can today
Yeah.
and and understand that anything that they can do matters and that they don't have to do it all and adding to the overwhelm is just not worth it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
as
Because
simple
when it
as that.
becomes overwhelming, it's no longer serving the purpose anymore.
Absolutely not. I mean, I tell my clients that if coming to me is adding to the overwhelm and adding to the stress, that it's not worth it. So that's why we talk about what are the tiny things that you can do? What are the moments that you can add in? And if you can even do those, then that's great. And if not, then that's totally fine that you'll get there. And it doesn't have to be today. But if you can, let's talk about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I love that. I love that philosophy of care and that mindset that you're helping
Hmm.
moms really shift to. And so you've worked with pregnant and postpartum moms for a very long time, and you've done this work for a really long time as a fitness coach. Tell us a little bit about why is this, how does physical movement impact pregnant and postpartum moms in that really critical period? What have you seen in the work that you've done and how this helps moms and why we want to encourage moms to integrate this in their day-to-day as best as possible?
Yeah, I mean, well, during pregnancy
Mhm.
specifically, movement can help reduce overall body pain and discomfort that can happen while you're pregnant as your body is changing and forming and you're growing this human inside your body and you're doing this beautiful, amazing, very hard thing that I think that, my mommies don't actually realize that like because they're in it, right? And they don't actually realize that this is like this big massive thing. Like, wow, you grew a human. Um, and so, it can reduce overall body pain, discomfort, swelling, stiffness, supports pelvic floor coordination and function. Um, definitely boosting mood and energy and helping with sleep, especially, as they get closer to the end and sleep can get harder and you're just more uncomfortable. Um, and then it helps to prepare the body with mobility and strength for labor and delivery. That's a big one. And then postpartum helps to rebuild the core and pelvic floor connection safely. Yeah, whether that's with someone like me or a pelvic floor physical therapist, I think I want to note like incorporating both is really a beautiful combination and collaboration for moms. Um, and then, on your end, and I'm a massive advocate supporting mental health, reducing anxiety and depression and the overwhelm overall. So boost that postpartum as well and the newness of everything, whether it's your first or your fifth. um, it's still a new baby. Um, Restoring functional strength with daily mom tasks, right? So think about carrying baby, breastfeeding, if that's your choice. And even if it's not breastfeeding, you're still feeding, right? So the body is doing this, um, putting baby in and out of the car, all of that heavy carrying and lifting that in your daily life prior to that you're not doing. And then it promotes circulation and healing without an intensity. So that's those are some big whys.
Yeah, yeah. Two things that really, in addition to all the things that you shared that are so helpful and important, is that your work is a great adjunct, right? Like your work can work with pelvic floor therapy that someone's getting, or, right,
100%.
like any other chiropractic care, for example, other physical wellness care. Your
Yes.
care is an adjunct to that. So moms could get that and get to work with you. It's not counteracting with anything, and
Mm-mm.
it's more collaborative, in the sense all of these different parts areas are going to be helping the mom. So she could be working with a chiropractor or physical pelvic floor therapist
Mhm.
and still also be working with you as a fitness coach.
100%. I'm a huge advocate of a collaborative effort of providers for my moms, whether it's pelvic floor physical therapist, a therapist, a chiropractor, acupuncture, massage therapist. I don't do it all. They don't do it all. And so having a team is so important. And we need a team. They need a team. Mommies need a team. And why not have that support and that love and that energy to support you during that time? I mean, it's so helpful.
I love that. We need a team and they need a team. And the other thing you mentioned was you could be a first-time mom, or this could be your third baby. You're still going to have a
Hmm.
pregnancy to go through. Your
Hmm.
body will still go through changes. You still will
Healing.
have a new baby, and you'll still be postpartum. All of that
Yeah.
doesn't change. So
No.
whether it's the first pregnancy or the third, it's just that by
Yeah.
the third, you have somewhat of an idea of what to expect, but each pregnancy is
Right.
so different, right?
Yes.
So you could be on your first, or you could be on your third or fourth, and you could still really benefit from your services, is what I'm hearing.
Every pregnancy is different, every birth is different, every baby is different. And so either way, yeah, you're gonna have takeaways from support. You're gonna receive something from support no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it'll always be something different and unique. And so you'll walk away with
100%.
something different.
Each experience is going to be different no matter what. And I've heard that over and over again for my mommies that my first pregnancy was this way, but my third pregnancy was this way, or my first birth experience was this way, and my third one was this way, and totally different experiences for each one. So you're going to need something different for each one.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of the experience, I think there's a spectrum of experiences that moms have regarding fitness
Hmm.
and their body and
Hmm.
physical health and wellness. And there's so much out there, even on social media, about this. And what we see, whether it's
Hmm.
influencers or people in our communities,
Hmm.
there's a lot of misleading narratives or misleading experiences, right, that moms will often
Hmm.
see. And we talk a lot in our program about like how we can regulate consumption of this because
Yes.
what seems to be this grass that's really greener on the other side isn't quite that green, or at least it seems like it, but it isn't necessarily. And so, really helping moms reframe and
Mm.
understand like this whole idea of bouncing back or your body bouncing back, right? Like you probably hear a whole lot of this need to want to be able to do what I used to be able to do before pregnancy or before my first child or, at any
All the
point
time.
in the past, right? And so talk to us a little bit about this narrative in society about our bodies, pregnant, postpartum mom bodies that need to somehow bounce back to what they were able to do before, and what that realistically looks like, actually.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject and it's a conversation that really needs to change. Because like you said, I mean, in social media and in our culture, there's this expectation or we see certain things and only certain things. And that's a really, really hard comparison to live up to. You're not seeing the normal, everyday mom and that's really hard, especially when you're hormonal and you're vulnerable, you're in your most vulnerable state of life and you're feeling a certain way. It's really difficult. Um, so to get to the myths and the shoulds just need to be out the door altogether. But that's easier said than done. And so when I'm working with someone, it really is about let's change the conversation, let's reframe, and let's change the language about it altogether. So the whole bounce back, quite frankly, I call BS. Just to be very frank, there's no timeline. It's about let's build sustainable habits over that pressure to return to the former body or what you see around you. Your body has changed. I mean, it just is, it is what it is. But that doesn't mean that your body is bad or that you're bad. It means that it's changed to a newer version that is even more beautiful. It's just a matter of how can we change the mindset around that. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
uh, and then there's the you need full workouts to benefit. That's a myth. The truth is that those 3 to 5 minute workouts, if you can make that happen, those little moments add up. So that's
Yeah.
huge. And and when you're postpartum, that may be all that you can fit in your day. And you may not even be able to do that, and that's totally fine. And so we need to have conversations about that. And another huge one is that everyone should follow the same plan. The truth is that every body, like we talked about, every birth, every body, every recovery is different. And so that is absolutely false. Um, and then movement has to be intense. The truth is that
Mm.
breath work is powerful. So no, it doesn't have to be this intense, like killer boot camp workout to be um, successful and to work. Another myth is that um, my doctor or midwife cleared me at 6 weeks, and so that means I can go back to normal. The truth is that most, I'm going to say doctors, and I'm going to rid the midwife from this. Most doctor clearances don't assess pelvic floor, core, or functional movement. So start slow. Consider support from a trained specialist like myself or a pelvic floor physical therapist and go from there. Midwives do tend to go into checking pelvic floor, diastasis, and core and functional movement. And so that's a little different. Another myth is if it doesn't hurt, it's fine. The truth is that compensation can show up as like breath holding, coning, dooming, leaking heaviness. So that's kind of where that shows up. That's not necessarily true. If it's not hurting, it's okay. And then another big one is you need to get your body back. So we're kind of wrapping back around. The truth is that your body didn't go anywhere. It transitioned. And it's worthy and it's strong in every season of motherhood. It's just different now. It's just changed.
I love that. Your body didn't go anywhere. It just transitioned. And this idea that I've lost my body or I've lost this particular aspect of my body and just being able to shift the mindset around it's not gone anywhere. It's right here. It's just transitioned into something different, something more beautiful, and something that takes time for moms to be able to embrace eventually. But from all the myths that you shared, what came to me was one, there's no pressure in how you choose to incorporate and integrate fitness in your day-to-day. There's
Mm-hmm.
no pressure on this is the only way to do it. There's no one size fits all.
No.
And that the work that you do is very customizable to the mom, like based on her lifestyle, her birth, her postpartum, her age, like all these different factors. And it sounds like you really take all that into consideration
Yeah.
and change it up accordingly or make that plan accordingly so that again going back to your philosophy of do what's doable, right, without
Yeah.
the pressure of feeling like you need to do it a certain way,
Yeah.
um, and approaching all of this from a mindset of I'm embracing something that has transitioned my body that's just different in the sense it's transitioning into who it is or what it is now, and we're just going to go with that and see where that takes us versus having this comparison, right? I think that's what we tend to see a lot of comparison
Yeah.
between someone who is also postpartum is able to do these things or is looking a certain way and I look a certain way. And that comparison is often what gets moms into a spiral of there's something that's not right about what I'm going through.
100% can't agree more. And that's also not to say that their feelings are not 100% valid. And so I think it's really important to give them that validation.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Well, one thing I want to wrap up with today is what are some simple, doable tips that you suggest moms can incorporate if they choose to, if they want
Yeah.
to, if they're able to?
Yeah.
What are some, quick, simple things moms can do in their day to day that are practical, doable, and effective in its own
Yeah.
way?
Yeah. Cool. I love this. Um, for movement, it can be as simple as just some little feel good mobility, right? So like neck rolls, shoulder rolls, little seated cat and cow, hip rocks. So these things can be done in the car. They can be done while feeding. They can be done if they are folding laundry. I mean, while they're doing other things, essentially. They can do a glute core reconnect while gently core breathing and glute squeezes for just like 2 minutes, if that's doable. Um, Stroller walk, indoor, outdoor. whether it's like, 5 to 10 minutes. You can add things like lunges and squats and curb step ups into that if you want to get a little extra boost. Or you can just do the walk. That's good enough. You can do sit to stands, counter push-ups during like everyday tasks, like if you're cooking and like the water's boiling. Baby wearing is another great way to get some movement in, and kind of the same thing. While you're doing that and cooking, get those, a couple squats in, get a couple push-ups in while you're cleaning the bottles, multitasking is a big thing that moms have to do. So if you can get those things in, then great. Um, and then for mindfulness, um, even if you can just do like a 60-second grounding, right? So inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Um, and or you could do like one intentional pause during the day. You can do this alone as it is, or you could do it during feeding or at a red light or before bed, sitting on the toilet while you're in the shower. Really just like feel the water coming down your body. Um, and then for like little micro self-cares, you could try to get in like one anchor meal where it's really protein, fiber based. Not to say that you can't have carbs. Not saying that at all. And you could really also just try to focus on having a little bit more hydration than you did the day before. Um, and then maybe a 2-minute calm for the nervous system. So this could look like anything like a 2-minute meditation, 2 minutes to read, to write, or even to play your favorite song and get up and dance. All of those things are going to help to calm your nervous system. Um, and so these are just kind of little things that I talk to my mommies about, and these are just a few things, but they're
Yeah.
just little ideas, and they look different for everybody, you know.
Yeah, I love that. And they're so simple that could be incorporated in your day to day. And what I got from hearing all these different ways you can do this is it's not like black and white. It's not either you do it or you don't do it. It's like it doesn't have to be perfect and it's in what you're doing. Even if you could just add a couple minutes of this at this time, that's fine. It doesn't have to be black and white. Either I do it really well, or I don't do it at all. It's not about that. And so when you feel like, oh gosh, I want to incorporate this, even if you incorporate a couple minutes a day, that's a good start. Let's start right there, right?
Even if you can't do it every day, even
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I have moms that when we do check-ins, when I get to see them, and they're like, well, I got to do it one day this week.
Okay, right? Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. You got to
Let's
do it
start
one
there.
day. I mean,
Right.
that's fantastic.
Right.
Let's embrace that. Let's give yourself grace and let's be proud of you. Let's let you be proud of yourself for that.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Little wins, and we can all celebrate those little wins, and that's the start to wherever they want to
Yeah.
eventually be. And so I
Yeah.
love that. Those were some really, I think, helpful tips and simple practical things that I hope moms that are tuning into this recording are able to just implement in their day to day. If you want to learn more about Faryn, she's got this great Instagram page. She's got a lot of information on there, lots of tips, lots of resources, lots of ideas. And of course, if you'd like to work with her, she has her contact information on her page, and we will also include her information underneath like we're in the show notes of this episode. So thank you so much, Faryn, for being here, for sharing these tips and just your philosophy of care with these moms. And we hope that moms will reach out and get the support that they need that's doable, practical, and empowering for them. Thanks so
My
much.
pleasure. Thank you.